Welcome to another Splatoon 2 video on the channel. This will be another news roundup video. So to start off with, Nintendo has announced that they will be renovating the Reef and it will be removed from the rotation later on today. So it will be returning next week on the 7th of November. It will probably work out to be the 7th for people living in Europe, but it will probably come back on the 6th for you guys in North America. So to look at the image we got for the Reef, it does look like that they will be pushing back spawn a little bit to try and prevent people spawn camping on this stage. They are sort of expanding right side. I haven't got the image in front of me at the moment, but I can remember seeing that they have got plans to expand right side coming out of spawn, and they might be doing something to left side coming out of spawn as well. So yeah, they are changing the Reef. I'm not really sure how I feel about this, just because I am a fan of this stage as it is. I would prefer something like Shadowdove Institute to change, where it is kind of hard to play that stage, especially on something like Tower Control, where it is dominated by splatlings that are up above on the glass. It is kind of hard to play on that stage where you are sort of getting dominated by people that do have ranged weapons. So yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about the Reef getting changed. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Now, I might need your help just because I want to do a comparison video, kind of like what I did with Starfish main stage. So make sure you are following me on Twitter, because I might need your help to go in a private battle, just because the Reef, it will not be available for Turf War. It will not be available for ranked and league battle until next week, until we do get the new version of this stage. So this will probably be the map or stage that we will be getting for November, kind of like what happened when we got Starfish main stage. That was the only stage we got for that month. So of course it has already been announced that we will not be getting any new stages for Splatoon 2. So unfortunately, we will not be getting anything like a returning stage this month. It will just be a renovated version. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Are you a fan of the Reef getting changed? And speaking of possible more revisions to stages already in the game, Oatmeal Dome, they discovered the Reef getting renovated before Nintendo did announce it. They did discover it in the files of the game, and also they have discovered revisions for Snapper Canal, Piranha Pit and Black Belly Skate Park. So maybe those stages will be getting renovated over the next few months. I'm not really sure about Black Belly Skate Park. I am a fan of that stage as it is right now. So yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about Nintendo changing some of the stages that I do like to play on. So yeah, I will be doing a comparison video. It will be a little bit different to that Starfish main stage video, just because I can't have videos where I've got music in the background anymore. I will have to talk and just point out the changes in that video. So what I hope to do is get on the Reef, like record what the Reef looks like on all of the game modes and compare it to the renovated version that we will be getting next week. So yeah, this 4.2 update, it does seem like the main headline so far is that we will be getting a new special weapon, the Ultra Stamp, but also the Reef will be renovated. Nintendo have also announced what the ranked stages will be for the month of November. So you will see the Reef in the screenshots. The Reef will be in rotation when it does return, having been renovated on the 7th or 6th of November, depending on your time zone. So yeah, we'll put up the screenshots for the ranked stages for November on screen now. Another data miner called Lean Yoshi on Twitter, they have discovered what the salmon run gear will be for November. So if you don't want to hear about this sort of thing, then just fast forward the video a little bit. So I'm just going to leave a little bit of time so that you guys can do that. So Lean Yoshi has discovered that the salmon run gear for November will be the workers head towel, and this really does look cool. I can't wait to unlock this gear myself. So yeah, this will be the salmon run gear for November. And speaking of salmon run, Oatmeal Dome discovered an unused, potentially a brand new salmon run stage, but it does look like that we will not be getting that stage anytime soon, just because Oatmeal Dome has discovered the schedule for salmon run from now up until the 1st of January, and unfortunately that stage does not feature, so we will not be getting that stage anytime soon. And also we will not be getting all random or Grisco weapons. We will not be getting that rotation anytime soon as well. But Oatmeal Dome has pointed out that Nintendo could always update this schedule to include a potential brand new salmon run stage and the all random all Grisco weapon rotation. So that is a little bit disappointing. Hopefully we will get a new salmon run stage soon. Hopefully we will get it. Maybe the earliest will be in January next year, but hopefully we will get that stage soon. Now I don't know about you, but I have ran into more Japanese players lately, and this seems to be a change with the matchmaking that Nintendo have done with a recent update. Now I'm not really sure if it's just people just putting Japanese characters in their name, but what it seems like to me is that we are now running into Japanese players on a more regular basis. Previously the matchmaking was segregated between the regions, so you wouldn't match up with Japanese players like what he did with the first game. That was kind of frustrating to come up with Japanese players who are unbelievably good at the game. So it seems like to me that Nintendo have changed the matchmaking, so we come up against Japanese players more. I'm not really sure whether Nintendo have done this so like when the game gets less populated you would still get into a lobby, even though it is against players all over the world, you are still getting into a match. I'm not really sure whether Nintendo have changed the matchmaking to like counter like less players like playing the game. Of course, as time goes on, more and more players will be moving on from this game as new games come out like Smash Bros Ultimate, or to move on to games like Fortnite that are already out. So maybe Nintendo have changed the matchmaking to make sure that we don't wait a while to get into matches, but I think as time goes on we will get into matches more and more against the Japanese players that are really good at the game. I haven't really experienced matches where like what I did have with the first game, where I came up against players that were really good at the game. I haven't got to that level yet, but maybe we will get to that scenario as time goes on. Maybe that is what Nintendo are preparing for. Also, Nintendo are checking out the connection in the game. Basically, Nintendo are checking out 1 in every 100 matches. They have been doing this in every single region, so North America, Europe and Japan. Hopefully this will mean that Nintendo look at the connection. If the connection is bad, hopefully Nintendo will improve it. I guess the dream is that Nintendo add in dedicated servers, but I just can't see that happening anytime soon, unfortunately. Now this week, Nintendo have held their financial results for the previous few months, and they have announced that Splatoon 2 has sold 7.47 million units since the game did launch in July last year, and that puts it 4th on the all-time list of Switch software. It is behind Super Mario Odyssey that has sold 12.17 million units, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that has sold 11.71 million copies, Zelda Breath of the Wild that has sold 10.28 million units since that did launch in March 2017. Now I think Splatoon 2 will be pushed down a little bit on the all-time software list when Smash Bros. Ultimate and Pokemon Let's Go does come out over the next couple of months. But Nintendo have commented on the strong sales of those games in their financial results. They have said that these titles are continuing to sell at a sustainable rate and at the same rate as the hardware. Nintendo have said that they can continue to expect those pieces of software to sell as long as the hardware itself sells, and this is something that I have said before on the channel. Splatoon 2 will be one of the games that new customers for the Switch will pick up, so I think the user base for Splatoon 2 will continue to grow. I think more and more people will continue to discover the game, so I don't think the game will die out anytime soon. I still feel like you will still see new players come into the game, especially when you've got new pieces of software. People will pick up a Switch for Smash Bros. Ultimate and Pokemon, but also maybe once they have finished playing those games, then maybe those people will pick up something like Splatoon 2 that did come out in 2017 as well. Nintendo has posted an image looking at the sales of the software that I did just mention, including Splatoon 2. This image shows the sales performance of Splatoon 2 over the last few months, and it does show that Splatoon 2 got a little bit of a boost in terms of sales when the Octo expansion did come out in June. But what is also interesting is that the sales of the game did dip a little bit in September. Now this could be because people are going back to school in September in Europe, but also this could be as a result of the Switch online service launching in September. Users had to pay to carry on playing Splatoon 2 online, so maybe this did put off people from picking up a copy of Splatoon 2. I guess time will tell as we do get figures for October, November and the rest of the year as well. Maybe the Switch online service will put off new customers, but also maybe it is just a case of new software coming out and people rather pick up those games instead of Splatoon 2. Speaking of the Switch online service, Nintendo has said the launch has gone as expected. Nintendo pointed out that people who did purchase a Switch online membership, over half of those people picked up either an individual 12-month membership or they were part of a family plan, and I guess this does make sense. If you can afford it, why bother going for the 3-month and 1-month memberships? You may as well just go for a 12-month membership. Now I have mentioned this before, but of course as time goes on and more games do come out, then less players will play Splatoon 2, players will move on from the game, and I guess a massive factor this year is the release of Fortnite. And Nintendo, they have said that over half of the Switch user base, that is 11 million people, they have downloaded Fortnite, and a lot of those people are still playing the game. So yeah, that could be a factor in why you might see less players playing games like Splatoon 2. You got games like Fortnite that are incredibly popular. That is just incredible to think about. Yes, it is a free-to-play game, but 11 million people or 11 million systems downloading Fortnite, That is just pretty incredible when you think about it. The game is really popular on the Switch. The last couple of things that I need to talk about in this video is that Nintendo have mentioned that they don't have any plans at the moment to move further into esports. This will affect the esports and the professional Splatoon 2 community. I'm sure this will disappoint a lot of those people, but Nintendo did say that they didn't have any plans yet to move further into esports. So I guess there is always a possibility that in the future Nintendo will move further into supporting the esports community. And the last thing that I need to talk about in this video is that tomorrow there will be a Smash Brothers Direct. I'm hoping that we will see more Splatoon content in that Direct. I will leave a link to a couple of videos that I have made on the channel where I talked about what other Splatoon content I want to see in the game. So that is it for this video. Let me know your thoughts on everything that I've talked about in the comment section below. But that is it for this video, and I will see you next time, hopefully.